You could be in a new thing with someone, or it could be that you're not sure. You've noticed that maybe these text messages are a little bit not too sure what to make of them. I'm going to be talking about this in the video. We're going to be looking at the kind of the texts, the words, the sentences, the word formation, the whole lot in the video. Watch this video. I want to talk about it all. Hello and welcome back. I hope that you're all doing really well. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about how to identify someone who is toxic, someone who is narcissistic, simply by their text messages. Now, this is just something to go by. It doesn't mean that they're definitely one, but what I will be doing is exploring the word formation and also the sentence formation and the particular choice in words that they choose and their behaviors behind the text messages. This is something that you need to pay attention to because it's not apparent, but it makes you feel a certain way, and this is what you need to pay attention to, is how it makes you feel. I'm going to explore all of this in the video. When you're texting a narcissist, it feels a little bit different to the way that you text other people because it initiates a response, an emotional response within you, usually one of anxiety. And this is what we have to pay attention to, is how these responses, these text messages make us feel, because they're not going to make you feel the same way when someone else is messaging you. I'm going to break all of this down in the video. It might make you feel frustrated because there's no fluidity in this text conversation. And that's the thing, when you're having a conversation with someone, it flows. But with a narcissist, it's very different. It's almost feels like one sentence or one text doesn't flow into another. This is done especially. Oh yes, my friends, this is done especially. You know why? Because there is an agenda behind it. They would most definitely make you feel anxious because you just don't understand them. And also from time to time, you might feel like you want to block them because there's this frustration, there's this irritation that they initiate within you. And the reason for this is because narcissistic kind of text style is very manipulative and very controlling, coercive. It makes you feel as though there's no understanding, there's no clarity in these text messages, and there's always an agenda where the narcissist wants to make you feel a certain way, because that's what they do. So when you're responding to these text messages, it's really difficult to know actually how to respond, how to make this flow. And yeah, it just leaves you scratching your head and you're like, okay, what actually is going on here? Like, I just don't get it. The reason for this is because of the choice of words. The words that the narcissist is going to use are going to be words that make you feel something. For example, they're going to be, it depends where in the cycle they are. So they might be really full on, particularly if you're at the beginning of a relationship. Maybe you're in your situationship, maybe you just started talking to someone, maybe you're in a relationship with someone and there's this bombardment of texts, and it's going to be something along the lines of what you want to hear. So the narcissist will work out what it is that you want and they're going to communicate that to you within the text messages. So it's going to be intense, it's going to be over the top, it's going to be consistent, like they're going to bombard you with these messages. It will be things like, I've never met someone like you before, you are my soulmate, I've never felt this way before. And what we have to pay attention to here is this is going to be out of context, because this is going to be particularly at the beginning stages of a relationship where it's far too early to kind of say these sort of things, Or it might be that you have kind of got back together after initial separation, and again it's going to feel a little bit out of context, like, why are you saying this straight away? Like, why is this so intense? And although it might feel so good, although it might feel so wonderful to hear this, but what you have to realize is it's a little bit too much at the beginning, and you might feel suffocated. It might feel so disjointed, so out of context, that you're like, this is a bit uncomfortable. It also might make you feel anxious waiting for them to respond. There might be a period of time where there is no response to your messages. So what it could be is that they're all full on, you know, like message straight, one after the other, and then there's this long waiting period kind of for you to wait for their response. This again initiates anxiety within you. There's no fluidity in this connection. There's no fluidity in the communication. And then they might text back with something like, I just need to know how you feel about me, or can you respond? And again, it's very bitty. They want you to reaffirm love for them. So it's the way that you kind of understand it is how this person makes you feel emotionally. They're going to want something from you. So there is always going to be about reaffirming love and attention for the narcissist. That is ultimately what they're going to be doing, because they want it all the time. They want you to keep telling them all the time how you feel about them, so that they feel affirmed, they feel validated. What they also could do is bring your attention back on a particular conversation or text message that maybe you didn't answer, or maybe they want you to re-answer it. They might gaslight you, manipulate you into seeing something within these text messages that you are like, hold on a minute, this isn't how I understood it. And it's at those times where you try to confront, or you try to kind of ask for more clarification, that the narcissist gaslights you and manipulates the text conversation into something that they want it to be. Like, they'll make the subject matter about them. They may even gaslight you into doing something for them, something that perhaps maybe you don't feel comfortable doing, but they'll make you do it, because they will make you feel guilty and they might make you do it. So you feel like you're responsible to having to do this because of a text conversation that you were having, because of maybe even a conversation over the phone that you were having, and you didn't feel comfortable at the time, but they kind of remind you and they make you do something that you don't feel comfortable in doing. And you've got to think, like, if a friend or a family member had asked you to do that, you probably would have said no because you felt comfortable in saying no. But with a narcissist, they'll guilt trip you into doing this for them. And you see, this is the issue here. Like, it's how they are making you feel. How is this text conversation, the words that they are using, are they out of context? Are they manipulating you into seeing something, like gaslighting you into seeing a different reality or having a different understanding of the situation? And you see, if this was a friend or a family member that was kind of asking you to do this or see this from their point of view, would they use that language? Would they make you feel this way? And these are the things that you really need to pay attention to. It's the intensity. It's the intensity of the text. It could be like, maybe you are meeting in an hour, and right before your meeting, there is this text, one after the other, one after the other. Like, I completely understand that you're probably reaffirming maybe the reservation or where you're meeting, the details of your meeting. But when it is asking you to reaffirm your love, when it's asking you to maybe do things that you don't feel comfortable in doing, and it's like constant bombardment of texts, this isn't okay, because then what the narcissist is doing is manipulating you, making you feel a certain way right before you meet. You might even have missed calls and voicemails from this person. And the reason why the narcissist is doing this is because they want your attention. They want you to respond to those text messages, and it's this constant pressure to respond in that time frame that they want you to respond. Maybe you are busy. Maybe you are doing something. You know, the narcissist doesn't like it because in their mind, you're not putting them first. And God forbid that you don't put them first. They want you to do what they want you to do. So again, they're manipulating the situation so it goes their way. It could be that the narcissist feels threatened or worried that you are not into them anymore, so they're asking you to reaffirm that attention for them. Again, this is really intense. And think about it, if, again, like I know I've said this before, like if this was your friend or your family member, would they do that to you? Would they make you feel that way? And this is what you need to think about. This is what you need to really look at, is would someone else do that to you? The narcissist will want to sabotage what you are currently doing because you're not paying attention to them and they want that attention. So again, think about the words that they are going to be using, the sentences that they're going to be using to try and get your attention. Whether it's positive or negative, they are going to try and get your attention. So they will use various texts, a succession of texts, words that are so intense, again, out of context, but they're going to want to get your attention. And that's what this is all about. They can't deal with the fact that you have your own life, that you are not putting them first, and they want you to respond in a certain time period, even though it will not suit you, but they want to have control over this situation. This is their instability to be able to regulate their emotions. They're not able to do that. They're very impulsive. They want things done their way. They want it done within a particular time frame. It's because they can't self-soothe. So in their mind, they're probably imagining the worst. But it doesn't mean that you're doing that. But in their mind, they're thinking, oh my God, I don't have that person's attention. I want the attention. So they're trying to do everything that they can to get your attention. So they disturb you. They disturb your day because you are not doing what they want you to do. The other thing that you need to be aware of is the way that the narcissist texts. Okay, so they will have these proclamations of love. It's kind of like a bit out of context. It's like, they might say things like, no one gets me like you do. You are the love of my life. I need you in my life. I love you so much. And again, this feels out of context. Like, don't get me wrong. It's nice when people say things like this, but this will be out of context. Either it's going to be too early on in the relationship or the connection to say this, or it might be said straight after a disagreement or an argument that you have had. Why would you be saying that? Like, why would you do that? It's because they want to sweep this under the carpet and they want to continue on their agenda. What they're looking for is for you to make them feel better. So if they say something that you want, that they think you want to hear, and you will respond in the way that they think you will, that makes them feel good because they're getting supply. They're getting your attention when they want it. And that's ultimately why they are texting you in that manner. But think about it again, how is that making you feel? Like, how do you feel hearing this, knowing that actually maybe, why are you telling me this at this point? It's like, there's no reason for this. Can't we discuss this further? It's almost as though they cut the conversation dead and they continue what they want to talk about. And again, nothing is ever resolved. It's all swept under the carpet and it's like, okay, let's get on with this. In the way that they want it to be done. So this is the thing. It's like, how is it making you feel? Do you have these insights? Does it feel like it is fake? There could be these text messages that come out of the blue that completely shake you up, or or you feel like they're trying to get your attention and it's inappropriate. Like, I'm not feeling good right now, but can you call me? Or it could be, what are you doing? I don't feel good, or I feel like crap. Or it could be, I'm just letting you know that I've received some awful news. I know that you won't read this right now, but can you call me later? These texts, what they're doing is they're putting the emotional responsibility onto you. It's almost as though you have to make them feel better. So the responsibility is on you. They make you feel bad because you didn't answer in that time frame, or they're not feeling good and they want something from you. They want you to make them feel better. So the emotional responsibility is on you. They'll also put the blame on you after an argument, after a disagreement. They'll put the blame onto you. So again, the emotional responsibility is on you. They'll send things like, you've made me feel bad, like I can't concentrate at work, I don't feel good right now, this is all your fault. You need to change your mood, or you need to change your attitude, because this relationship's not going to work out. Again, your responsibility, it's your fault. Something that you have to do or you have to change because you're not okay the way that you are right now. This again is making you feel bad about yourself. Can you see how this is making you feel something? It's making you feel anxious. It's making you feel like you have to reply on demand. It doesn't mean that it means that you don't have time for your own headspace, for you to think about things. It's got to be done in that time frame that they want you to do it. I'm going to make a follow-up video to this on how to counteract these text messages. Or how to counteract these feelings, because I feel like there's so much more that I want to explore in this, and I feel like a second video to this would be good. So watch out for the part 2 of this video. Guys, I really hope that this helps. I really hope that this brings awareness to this situation. If you are someone that is going through this right now, please know that I do offer one-to-one consultations. Please see the description box below. I also have a mentorship program. If you are interested in joining and leveling up your healing journey, please see the description box below. I also have the journal club where I post journal prompts every Monday. If you would like to be part of this community, please see the description box below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.